Have you ever stopped for a moment to wonder how the simple things we enjoy at our dinner table might be gently shaping how we feel as the day goes on? Welcome to a quiet space where we can talk about our daily habits and the way our bodies change. As we move into the beautiful years after 50, it is a time for reflection, for slowing down, and for perhaps looking at our plates with a little more awareness than we used to. Taking care of ourselves doesn't always have to be about drastic changes or strict rules, but rather about a thoughtful journey toward a better sense of well-being. Today, we are going to explore some common food choices that many people notice can influence their overall heart health and daily comfort. This is a time of life where small pieces of dietary awareness can truly make a difference over the long term, and some everyday foods may be worth paying a bit more attention to than we did in our younger years. This is something many people overlook, but as we settle into this stage of life, our bodies often appreciate a softer, more intentional approach to what we consume. The first thing many of us find ourselves reaching for, especially when life gets busy, are those highly processed items like deli meats or canned soups. While these are incredibly convenient, they are often associated with certain ingredients that can contribute to a feeling of being less than our best. Many people notice that these foods, while easy to prepare, often lack the freshness that helps us feel vibrant. It is often observed that these items contain many hidden elements that keep them shelf-stable for a long time, and some find that choosing fresh, whole ingredients instead can lead to a more balanced feeling throughout the afternoon. Here's why this matters more than it seems. Because as we age, the way our system handles these complex, processed additions can shift, and moving towards simpler, more natural options is often a gentle way to support our daily heart health. Another category that is frequently discussed when we talk about well-being is the presence of added salt in our daily meals. Now, salt is a wonderful seasoning that brings out the flavor in our favorite dishes, but it is often suggested that as we cross the 50-year mark, we might want to be a bit more mindful of how much we are using. Some people find that a diet very high in salt is often associated with changes in how the body maintains its natural balance. You might notice that after a particularly salty meal, you feel a bit more tired or perhaps a little heavier than usual. This is something that many find can be gently managed by experimenting with herbs, lemon juice, or different spices that provide flavor without the need for the shaker. This small change can make a difference over time, and it allows us to enjoy the true, natural taste of the vegetables and grains we prepare. It's not about removing flavor, but rather about finding a new way to enjoy it that respects the needs of our bodies as they are today. Moving on to the sweeter side of things, many of us have a natural fondness for sugary snacks or sweetened drinks, whether it's a soda with lunch or a sweet treat after dinner. These items are often part of our daily rhythm. However, it is often noted that these sugar-heavy choices can influence our overall energy levels and how our body feels in a general sense. Some people find that high amounts of added sugar are often associated with a sense of fluctuation in their daily comfort. And while an occasional treat is a lovely part of life, moderation is often the key to maintaining a steady sense of well-being. Looking for natural sweetness in a piece of ripe fruit or a touch of honey can be a wonderful way to satisfy that craving, while remaining mindful of our heart health. It is important to remember that everyone is different, and finding a balance that works for your unique lifestyle is part of the process. As we continue, let's talk about those fried or heavily oily foods that are so common in our modern world. There is something very comforting about the crunch of something fried, but many people notice that as they get older, these foods can feel a bit more taxing on the system. It is often observed that heavily fried items are associated with a feeling of sluggishness, and some find that choosing to bake, steam, or grill their meals helps them maintain a more consistent level of energy throughout the day. This is a gentle reminder that how we prepare our food can be just as important as what the food itself is. Choosing lighter cooking methods is often a simple way to support a more comfortable daily experience without feeling like you are missing out on the joy of eating. While we explore these ideas, it is always a good idea to remember that a balanced diet is a very personal thing, and if you ever feel unsure, consulting with a qualified professional for personalized dietary advice can be a very helpful step. Now, let's look at the fifth category, which involves excessive packaged or convenient snacks, like crackers, chips, or pre-made frozen dinners. These items are designed for speed, and in our fast-paced lives, they can be hard to avoid. However, some find that relying too heavily on these packaged goods is often associated with a higher intake of those hidden ingredients we mentioned earlier. Many people notice that when they transition away from these convenience items and toward whole foods, they start to feel a little more in tune with their body's natural needs. Here's why this matters more than it seems. Because it's not just about one meal, but about the patterns we build over weeks and months. Small, consistent choices are the foundation of long-term well-being. It is often better to think of these adjustments not as restrictions, but as a way of being kind to ourselves and honoring the health we have worked so hard to maintain. As we wrap up our thoughts for today, remember that the goal is not perfection, but awareness. Long-term well-being often comes from those small, consistent habits, rather than following strict or stressful rules. By choosing to be a little more mindful of processed foods, salt, sugar, oils, and convenience items, you are making a quiet commitment to your own heart health and daily vitality. It is a beautiful thing to listen to what our bodies are telling us and to respond with care and respect. Take your time with these changes and enjoy the process of discovering what makes you feel your best. If you found this reflection helpful, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to join us for more gentle discussions. Take care and eat well.